guys, whoever they are right now joining my session. See, this is a Time Ulan Trekkers live session to share your stories, to share your memories of travel, trekking, adventure sports, or anything, cycling, marathons, anything. So this is a live session, and today we have with us an engineer turned advertising guy, turned cyclist, turned marathoner, and many facets. So let me welcome Rajaram Kavatkar. Let me get him on the line. Yeah, Raja. Yes, here he is. Okay, without anyone in the frame. Hi, Raja. Please come on. Okay. I thought only frame is there. Oh my goodness. There's so many of them behind. Just show me first. Just move out. Move slightly. I want to see those. Yeah. Those. That's a wealth he has earned for so many years. Yeah, that's right. Fantastic. I thought you will be wearing everything. And, like a soldier. Like so many things you have earned in your life. So, Raja, what we are going to talk about it today. It's your TT. Oh, yeah, fantastic. Your voice is also perfect. So, we are going to talk about your TT journey. We are going to talk about your marathon journey, your biking, and your future plan. And so you are a fitness freak. So, you can give some tips to our watchers and viewers. And they can ask you also. They can DM you that. So, we'll start with when did you join TT, by the way? When did you join TT?
See, I was like, I think in 2007. Yeah, 2007,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So, we used to trek earlier before that. And I think after I came from my first Ladakh trip in 2007, that is the time I actually started trekking with TT.
Okay, so what made you join TT?
See, I mean, TT, like all the people from TT, they are like my friends. So,
Okay.
some of these guys, they are from my colleagues from Lintas. So, we know each other very well. So, I was not like a bit trekker that time. I was to like take sometimes here and there. But yeah, I mean, I got to know that, these my friends, they have formed a group and now they're trekking regularly. So, I joined them.
So, do you remember, do you have any memorable trek? I don't say that Ratangar with Mansi first time joining in.
There are lot many. In fact, I think the most memorable trek for me is Alang Malang that we did.
Oh my.
Yeah, Ratangarh definitely. Harichandragarh again.
Oh, 91.
The camping. Yeah, because of the camping that we did on the night. So the starry night on Malang, I guess, that was phenomenal. So that is something very memorable.
Okay. So you said that you are already doing Ladakh trips. So Ladakh, I heard about your Ladakh fascination. Like वहाँ पे घंटा बजा के every year used to come Ladakh में, right? Late so many times. Yeah. Can you tell us something about it?
Yeah, I mean, I've traveled so much that, my friend used to tell people like, Rajaram may not know what is happening in his next building, but he knows everything what is happening in Ladakh. You ask everything about that. Okay. So that's how they tease me. Actually, it started with, I clearly remember I was in Lintas that time. And Ladakh was like my dream destination. I never thought that, I would actually visit there. So Ladakh that time was not a tourist place. Okay, it was only for adventure guys. And so the roads were not there that time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in 2007, that time I was in Lintas and I saw one ad where a group from Chandigarh, they have organized this trip to Leh. So it was organized by Chandigarh Adventure Association, and I was like, I got so excited. I immediately, called them and said like, yeah, I want to join. Okay. That time, so the salary was not too much, and the amount that you have to pay for the trip was like quite huge. So I just told them like,
And which bike you had?
I'm coming. Yeah, I'm coming. And I used to call him every day, like, sir, मैं पैसे दूंगा, थोड़ा late होगा, but I will come. So he said like, okay, don't worry, you can join anytime. Problem. So that's how it started. That was my first trip with them.
So which bike you had that time? I heard about it. You tell me.
Yeah, I did my first ride on Pulsar 150.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
When people crave for Bullet or in Ladakh, people take like kind of. People say that Bullet is the only thing which you can take to Ladakh, but it was a Pulsar 150.
Yeah, I mean, it's about you. It's how much passionate you are about riding. Then yeah, Bullet is quite comfortable. It carries a lot of weight. It's very sturdy on those roads. But I don't see, I mean, that much of big difference. Yeah, it's comfortable. But if you really like riding and if you love the whole thing, then I don't think any bike is a problem. I know people who have done even on scooty from Chandigarh.
Okay.
Yeah, they have actually they have done.
Okay.
Scooty, Bajaj Chetak and all that.
Yeah,
So,
Chetak, I saw the picture. Yeah.
Sorry?
Chetak, I saw the picture. It's a famous Bajaj Chetak picture. One guy is doing from Chandigarh, he did a ride on Bajaj Chetak. Okay, so you joined TT after that, after your couple of first rides. So in TT, I think so we did some about 2 to 3 years of tracks and everything. Then we decided to get a logo for TT after about 20 years or 20 or 15 odd years. So of course, one thing, because I told everyone and TT ke liye logo bana do. And that famous logo came in like saw the daylight. So do you have a T-shirt or something? Can you show me a T-shirt? Oh, okay. Can you just take it a little line? Can you take the T-shirt? Mansi, can you get the T-shirt? Yeah. So that's
वो निकल जाएगा अभी.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now can you tell us a story about this one, because it's like a kind of completely complicated logo. There's so many things written, so many things kind of put in over there. So what's the thought? What was the thought behind it?
Yeah, actually, when I started thinking about this logo, it was the first thing, came to my mind. This is the group which is not professional. I mean, professional. I mean to say, like, we did not make, happen to make money. It is like a family. Okay, so
Right.
This is something, we are not trying to sell anything. What we are trying to get people together who are like-minded, who want to do these kind of things. So that was a starting point. Then I thought, like, logo should be very primal. Okay, it should not be very fancy. It should be very primal. It should be very basic.
Right.
That should represent the actual rawness of the whole thing. How we are connected to nature or something.
Right.
Then I thought you would to, like, how, basically, the whole thing, like, how you say, like, how, when people ask you on trek, like, abhi kitna dur hai, अरे इधर ही आधा घंटा 10 minute. So it's like, so that one step at a time was the starting point. So that step evolved into actually footprint, and then that trekker came as in the negative space.
Yeah.
That's a.
So, and Gaurav Jha also gave some lines to fill in something, I remember.
Yeah, actually, this making of this TT as a very, it's very good. It's a very good experience for me. Instead, like, how we did it together. I would say just the original concept is mine, and I came with the basic thought. But there are a lot of people who contributed to it. Gaurav wrote fantastic lines for the poster. Neil, Savant, Sandeep Savant, Pandey, helped me in actually this illustration. So it's little faded right now. But when I designed the logo, the trekking guy was there in the silhouette. But in the negative. But actually, TT. Where like it is limitless, the people who are involved in TT, they do a lot of things, so it's not just about trekking, we are quite diversified that way. So that has to come in, that has to be shown. So that is the brand story we wanted to create. So that's why we designed a t-shirt in such a way that, it encapsulates, it showcases all the things that we do together, so cycling, hiking, all the thing now. Now I have to add scuba diving, which you're doing now. So.
And the other thing is that I think so after registering the logo, TM and registered, I think so you should add in, you should enter in one of the competition for voluntary organize this thing, right? You can do that in some award.
Yeah, थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, but yeah, it's nice.
Why not? It's a fantastic logo. Actually, I wanted to sell this in the market also without a small name, but this logo, that's why I love this logo. I want to get it registered as early as possible before someone gets an idea, tap out one idea from us. So I don't want to lose that opportunity of getting registered.
Yeah, for me, more than design, it's a family that we have, like with community that we have. So for me, that matters the most more than the design. So I remember when I rode to Khardungla from Manali. So I was like choosing. I carried all my sweatshirts and all that. So the day when I was riding from Leh to Khardungla, that was the highest point of my entire tour. So I actually, when I packed my bags, I put that T-shirt side. When I left Khardungla, that day I'm going to wear the T-shirt. Okay, and I'm going to show front my jersey. So yeah, that's what I did.
You know what I did? Last time when I was in Netrani, I was diving with this T-shirt underwater. So it's everywhere. We are everywhere. So we say in Marathi there we say something Jai Stari Kashti Pashani. So we are everywhere. So that's what I wanted to project that TT as. Now this new thing is coming up. So let's see how it goes well. So see, after that came your fitness journey. I remember you and Mihir started together, or I don't know who started first. Then you started marathons and everything. So how it started?
See, actually, when we started trekking with TT group, okay, that's the time when all this all these idiots, I will call, came together. Okay, like crazy people.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a different energy. Okay, everyone was like, they were like normal people like us. There were no superhumans or very fitness freaks or anything.
Right.
We were all like doing same thing, but in a different way. So it was a different craziness. So we used to plan some things randomly, impromptu, and we used to travel. We used to do impromptu treks and all that. So actually, I had a bicycle before that. But I didn't rode it too much. It just once in a while. So I had that cycle for a long time. So all that thing started, and then I slowly we got involved in each other's activities. So Mihir was the one who I met, and I got like this guy's like it's a different animal altogether. He has Mihir has a raw power.
Yeah, animal, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So and he was doing everything. He was doing cycling. He was doing running. He was doing treks with all these boulders on his back and all that. So I was to like this guy is something I have to watch out for. And he gave me a lot of inspiration. So and he showed me actually how you can be limitless. So we started cycling together and all that thing. The entire fitness freak thing started actually in 2013. So in 2012 I got gallbladder stone. So till that time I was doing gym on and off. Trekking hota tha kabhi kabhi. But nothing was in a full-fledged form. So in 2013 I got this gallbladder stone, and it came as a big shocker for me, because all that time I was thinking that okay, I'm a decently fit, I cannot have any illnesses and my body is well and all that. And suddenly it was a big jolt for me. So I went to that surgery. I had my gallbladder removed, and then suddenly I feel like okay, now what? Like after surgery, so many things were coming. Like people were telling me now you will have problem with digestion. You will not have normal life. You will go somewhere. You have to look for a toilet first and all that thing. So I got pretty scared. So and that frustration, actually I thought I have to do something else. Okay, I have to do something which is I can keep doing regularly.
Right.
So I remember I was hearing about this Mumbai Marathon quite a lot of time, and Mumbai Marathon was not actually in the mainstream at that time. Only people who are into fitness, they are doing it. So I was thinking about it. Then the time I had the surgery, I thought like this is the race I'm going to run next. Okay, and it was happening in next I think couple of months. So the registrations were done. Okay, you cannot get through. So I have to do it. I started calling people and this and that. And this time, our good friend Santosh Gupta, he came to my rescue. So he said like, okay, just give me your papers, I will get it done. And he actually got it done. So by the time my registration got confirmed, it was just 20 days for the race. Okay, I had no time to prepare. I had gallbladder surgery, 1.5 month back, and I had to go for a race, and that was half marathon, not like 10 kilometers.
Okay.
So I started reading about it. Then there was a huge risk in that, because you cannot just go and run half marathon like that.
Yeah.
It's big. So I said like, let's give it a try. I will run it. If at all it's not get well, I'll walk. I'll walk, I'll crawl, I'll do anything. Let's just give it a shot. I practiced for like 15 days, and everything went well. I mean,
Fantastic. Okay.
old fitness came in picture. So I 2 hours and 23 minutes was my first time. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Nice. So what was it like kind of from progression from half marathon to a full marathon? And a full marathon to something else, which is like, okay.
So actually, it is like this is something I am. If I do something passionately, then I will always try to unlock next levels. So like how we did first cycling trip, moving to Goa. It was on like 6-speed cycle. Then I thought like, okay, if I can do this, I can do even bigger things. Then I graduated to like you helped me buy that Scott 29.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
basically, I
cycling
do the
came.
same.
So cycling came from the marathon. And I remember you doing cycling, started cycling because Mansi pushed you to do it because I was trying to go alone and you said, no, I'm coming. So you started doing that practice also, right? I remember that.
Actually, that was the primary reason that people were not keen you to go all alone that time. So and I was free, so I thought like, hey, let's give it a shot and क्या होगा अगर साइकिल है चलाएंगे नहीं तो चल के जाएंगे. That's what we did eventually.
So and that's the memorable. That was a complete memorable journey. Yeah. My goodness. The coastal route. Do you have any memories about coastal route? I have a lot. You can tell me.
I mean, there are a lot of memories. That trip is unbelievable. Okay, like how we did it. So we walked almost half the route. Okay, I had no practice at all. Then it was like I was riding Firefox 6-speed that time.
Yeah, I remember that. You coming from behind with a noise. I used to say, okay, Raja is coming. Okay.
Yeah. So I think I walked half the route. So I can't spot it riding.
Yeah. And once you told me also after riding my cycle on 1 kilometer or 1 kilometer stretch and said, साले तेरे पास ये साइकिल ही करके तू भगा रहा है मेरे पास आने दे फिर बाद में देखता हूँ तेरे को, right? So that way.
Yeah.
So coming back and after that you did Sikkim, not Meghalaya.
Meghalaya.
Meghalaya recently. So how was that? Because it was a single cycle is going there and Meghalaya is completely unknown territory, northeast. You never been to northeast. So how was it?
Yeah. Actually, Meghalaya was not on the cards. We were planning for Bhutan. The problem in Bhutan that you cannot ride solo. You have to have at least one person with you. Okay. So we planned that Gaurav was supposed to join. So we planned everything. We are almost looking for how to book tickets and transport and all that. And something happened and Gaurav couldn't join. So he said he cannot come. I had my plan in place, so now I cannot go there, but I have to go somewhere else. Then I thought about going northeast. Going northeast was not actually for cycling per se. I was wanting to go to northeast because I just wanted to explore that region, because we from this side we hardly travel to that side, and that is pretty unknown to us. So I wanted to travel to northeast, but then I said like, ठीक अभी ये ऐसे नहीं हो रहा है तो वैसे करेंगे. तो I went took that cycling thing. Actually, Northeast is not recommended for cycling trip because the terrain is maddening. The altitude is maddening. So you actually climb like what 10,000, 15,000 feet at a stretch. That much you have to go down, come up. So it is inhuman. You have to have actually next level fitness for this. So it's very difficult. But yeah, I mean it was good experience because all that places that I rode from Sikkim to Cherrapunji, Sora, from Sora to Dauki village. That was like good experience. I mean that place is amazing. It's amazing. It's something else. The water, the waterfalls, the living bridges and all that. It's amazing. And when you ride on cycle, you get to see all things so up close. You know about people, how they behave. They are extremely sweet people. It's a very clean place. It's a really nice place to be. It's an amazing place.
You feel it's out of India itself, right? Where people are very friendly, people will help you out of the way, going out of the way. That I have experienced.
And the funny thing happened, like when I was leaving, I got my cycle service from my regular service guy, and he packed everything, and he forgot to pack the seat post. तो सीट इधर ही रह गया उसके पास. And then I went to गुवाहाटी से I booked cab से लेके सिक्किम गया. And then Sikkim guest house, I am assembling back my cycle and so like, something is missing. Like and the seat post is not.
कहाँ पे बैठेगा?
So then I went to Police Bazaar in Sikkim. एक seat then उसको जुगाड़ करके because this seat was not fitting properly. Sizes were different. But somehow I managed that. And then finally, at the end of the trip, when I was at Dauki village, I was supposed to go to Zantia Valley in the western side. And my brake cable, come off. So, I all this while, like even if I went to Manali, that time I realized I was actually carrying wrong cables. Okay. So I had Scott 29er. I was carrying cable of different model altogether. So then I figured that it was not fitting. Again, I did some jugaad, उसको ऐसे कैसे fit करके लगाया. But it didn't go so well. So I had to actually end my trip there. Like 4 days.
Yeah, because every day we were following you, like कहाँ पे आज मेघालय बीच में गायब हो गया था तू, out of range. Then we were scared, like kind of गया किधर, है कि तो गया किधर. So I was ready to call my Northeast, my Meghalaya friends to find out. Then your puncture or something happened in North Meghalaya, which I remember clearly. Which paper and coming back to see what my session is about your marathon and cycling. Lastly, I'm going back to that topic, which is like everyone is interested in. So in marathons. Your progression was full, half to full. How many marathons, by the way, you did? Completed?
I ran like four full marathons.
Okay.
I graduated to full marathon quite later stage. Half marathon, I think I may have run more than 30-40.
Okay. Oh, that's why all these medals behind you. Okay.
Yeah. One is from Singapore. That's my favorite.
Oh, that's nice. And you're supposed to go to Helsinki, right? But because of this one, you couldn't now. You can't, right? And slowly you graduated to barefoot. That's an amazing. We have heard Milind Soman running barefoot, but you have like kind of broken every common man can do it. It's like that kind of way we found it.
I have run more than 30-40.
Okay. Oh, that's why all these medals behind you. Okay.
Yeah. One is from Singapore. That's my favorite.
Oh, that's nice. And you're supposed to go to Helsinki, right? But because of this one, you couldn't now. You can't, right? And slowly you graduated to barefoot. That's an amazing. We have heard Milind Soman running barefoot, but you have like kind of broken every common man can do it. It's like that kind of way we found it, right?
Yeah.
So how was it barefoot?
Actually, when I started, I ran for like 3-4 years. Then I kind of liked it, and then thought, this is something I'm going to carry for keep doing for a longer time. Then I started reading about it. I saw pictures of people running barefoot, and I saw it very fancy. I got very fascinated. Like this is something. This is the next level. But I said like at the same time, no, I mean, it's not feasible. In places like Mumbai where you don't have clean roads and you cannot run barefoot. So I said it's a mad thing. Uh, then I happened to read more about that. I read a book called Born to Run.
Right.
That's by Christopher McDowell. So basically, it revealed a lot of stories, myths, misconceptions, and the real facts about running. Okay, that's the actual time when I really thought like running is not something that we actually thought about. It's just not fitness; it's something else. That whole book is all about running barefoot. The author, Christopher. So he was a very avid runner. He liked running and all that. But he was having some running injury. He was having the back problem. So he tried a lot of things, a lot of doctors, but he couldn't find a solution to that. And the doctor told him like you have to quit it. Okay, there's no way you can run with this injury. So then he went on studying, and then he found one guy, Pobele Blanco. Okay, so Pobele Blanco, that in Mexican it means white horse. So this guy, American guy, he did his own research and he went to Mexico and he found a tribe there, Tarahumara. Okay, this is a tribe which lives in Mexican deserts, okay, canyons. And
Okay.
this is the tribe who runs like 500,000 kilometers at a stretch.
Oh my
In
goodness.
their tribe, running is a tradition. Okay, those
Okay.
people are like they run even in the festival occasion. These guys run. Okay.
Uh-huh.
These people isolate themselves from any kind of civilization. Okay, so
Okay.
far, even till date, they are living in isolation. They don't go to civilization. So they don't accept people from outside.
Okay.
And all these people, they are completely free from modern age diseases. They don't
Okay.
have blood pressure, don't have cancers. So whatever life they live a very healthy life.
Okay.
So he wrote all the entire book about that place and that running. Then Christopher McDowell, he traveled there. He started running with this guy, and then he discovered that actually, your whole body is meant for running. Okay, so all this running shoes and all that, it's a marketing. Okay,
Yeah,
so,
true.
you actually don't need all these things. Okay, so he started running barefoot. He ran, and then he discovered his all the problem that he was facing. He got rid of that. Okay, automatically it just vanished like this.
Okay.
And then he just went off. Then after that, he never faced any problem, no running injury, nothing. And after that, he wrote this book. And then he started this whole community, like barefoot running. He has his talks on TEDs also.
Uh-huh.
So I read that, and this is like, okay, if at all I want to do this thing for a longer time, and I want to become a injury free, okay, because
Yeah.
injuries is part and parcel of running. Okay, that's
Uh-huh.
what they say.
Right.
But if you run barefoot, you can actually avoid a lot of injuries in that.
Right.
So it's very interesting revelation for me. I said like this is something if I'm going to do for a longer time, then why not? Okay, why not try it? So I tried it. I started doing it. It's just a different feeling. Running barefoot. It just like frees you from anything. The biggest advantage is in this is you don't need to carry your shoes. You don't need to find
Yeah,
track
true.
to run. Okay, so but there are some problems like sometimes the roads are not good and all that thing. So for that, then I discovered what is the solution. Then I came across barefoot running sandals. So then again Mihir gifted me my first pair of zero
Oh,
shoes
nice.
sandals. Yeah.
Yes.
So I started running with those. So wherever the roads are not good, so I run with those sandals. I mostly try to run barefoot. But yeah, I mean that's how I figured it out. Yeah, the barefoot running is the best way to go if you really want to run for a longer period.
So does it help in something like like you told me or told us about all these things? So knees or your feet or something. So does it help?
See, I mean,
Joints.
honestly, I'm considering my fitness level. Like I never had such problems even
Okay.
even in beginning.
Uh-huh.
So I never had a running injury as such. This is something I'm doing as a precaution. Something that you should not face. I just
Okay.
had a couple of times calf muscles and all that thing, but nothing major of that sort. But the whole thing of going entirely bare in running and that freedom of running. Okay, because running makes it free. So this is something which I like about barefoot running.
Okay, so I'll stop you in between because you have multiple sections to talk about. So I'll ask people to, I'll actually ask people to put some questions, and then we'll go to the next topic, which is my kind of inspiration. I'll go to that topic later on. So people can please ask questions. Hi. Any questions? We have 5 to 10 minutes before we move to last topic. So please, any questions? So are you planning to, people are asking, are you planning, actually it's my question only, people asking, are you planning to go for Ironman?
See, I'll tell you very honestly, I would love to. The problem is, now you see my best time in marathon is 3:32, 3 hours and 32 minutes. So the amount of training is required for that kind of run is maddening. Okay, so you have to have you have to spend at least 2 hours a day in the run. Okay, so and that six days a week.
Okay.
So it takes a lot of toll on your body. So and if you are going for a job and working in an office, then it's practically becomes impossible because your work schedule and this thing. So if you have to go for Ironman, you need 5 hours of practice, 7 days a week.
Okay. That's not possible.
Once in a while you take off. Otherwise, it's 5 hours training per day. So and then again huge cost involved. So if at all, if somebody is like to sponsor me that way, I would really love to do it.
So our newcomers have joined. Miss Mom, she's asking, is Mansi is your inspiration for all these things? Okay, is Mansi?
Sorry, come again.
Is Mansi your inspiration for doing all these things? Because she has also started running now, not about a couple of years back. So is she your inspiration? Oh, danda leke padti hai subah subah.
I mean, everyone is into this thing is my inspiration, but I mean, she is always there when I do this kind of mad things, and suddenly I just मैं किधर से भी कभी भी उठ के कुछ भी बोल देता हूँ, मेरे को ये करना है वो करना है, but she never stopped me. चलो okay, do it. Like even my previous Ladakh trips, she has been always there. Okay, so you can see that inspiration.
But I think so. That's what yesterday also, our last session also said the same thing. We guys are inspirations. We inspire the inspire the inspired, already inspired people. So this okay. So this is the inspiration. Mir got inspiration. He's saying that you are my idol for running or fitness. So you are saying Mansi or Mir, give it back to Mir. So which one you like? You like Indian marathons or international ones? You participate in Singapore. So which one you like?
See, definitely. See, I mean, if you say running is running, okay. So I love running. Okay, that is like I like running because of running, because it just gives you a different energy. It clears your head. It just keeps you always on high spirit. So yeah, I mean, as far as running a marathon is concerned, see, marathon running is marathon, the entire event gives you a different energy altogether. International events, yes, I mean there are top 6 international. So for Berlin last year, but I couldn't go because of some office commitments. I had to dodge it. But yeah, I mean there are international races which are amazing because you see, I mean, if I tell you my first marathon when I ran half marathon, Mumbai Marathon. So that was starting from Mumbai Bandra Reclamation, and it was going the reverse route of full marathon.
Yes.
And when you're actually crossing the pedal road, that time all these elite runners, Ethiopians, Kenyans, and all these runners, they start from that other side, CST road side,
Right.
and you cross them to somewhere at between Worli Sea Face and Pedal Road. So I remember first time when I was running, okay, I was running in good speed, and then I saw these guys coming in other direction. I stopped there, and I just I was just looking at them, the way they run. It's a poetry in running. Okay, the way these guys run. What you see, on television or on mobile, these guys running, that's nothing. You have to see them running in real. You will never know where they come and then where they go, and you see their leg movement. It's like their upper body is not moving. It's just like that.
Right.
One step is like 5 feet. Okay, it's just like they're sprinting that crazily.
That's
So
right.
when you go to international marathon, you see all these things. Okay, and then you automatically would like to go to those next levels and just progressions. So yeah, I mean international marathons definitely would like to do.
So is ultra marathon is your bucket list?
See, I don't see any big marathons happening in this year for sure.
Yeah.
The problem with international marathons that you have to register. It's first of all, it's very hard to get.
Right.
Hard to get in. So I cannot even go and run Berlin Marathon. It's for me, the qualifying time is 2 hours 20 minutes for my age group. So
Okay.
I have still to do that. But if you have to plan for an international marathon, it has to be well planned. You have to enroll 1.5 years before. So that's something which is little a point of concern, because here in our life we cannot predict things what will happen after 1.5 years. So
Right. And any tips you have to give to start like newcomers for starting who have just started? Like, I can't run. Obviously, I can walk for many kilometers, but I can't run. So any tips? How to start?
I think it's honestly, running, anybody can run. Okay. Okay. This is something people. As I told my.
Yeah.
Hello. Sorry. Yeah. So it's just you have to give it a try. You feel you say that you can run and you can do it. So it's you just start. You just do it. And as I said in my post, the first 30-minute rule. Okay. When you start running, first 30 minutes are very important. Like, when the moment that you manage to be, jog for 30 minutes, I think you were able to think that you cannot run.
That's a make or break. Yesterday, day first yesterday also said the same thing. Make or break.
Yeah.
Making up your mind and breaking that barrier of running for 30 minutes. That's where I'll put it as. Yeah, and now I'll come to my this thing, my what we call my subject which I love to discuss about it. Your cycling and your marathon. So how did you manage? How did you get yourself prepared for this terrified this thing? For me, it's like I was terrified by listening to this thought. Cycling from Manali to Leh and again running a half marathon in Leh. That was a kind of completely no for anyone who is a fit person also. So how did you manage? How did you prepare?
So by the time I planned for Manali this cycling trip, I was pretty much in good shape. So I thought I can do it. So I had covered Ladakh from all the sides, Spiti Valley, Kashmir, and all that thing. So eventually Ladakh is my always destination. So I thought let's try cycling. Okay, अभी cycling करते हैं. बाकी कुछ बचा नहीं है. So then I started exploring how to do it. I read a lot about that, entire traveling and cycling, क्या preparation है. Then I said, okay, how to do it? Okay, you need to have somebody with you. This is something you cannot do all on your own. You can, but still a lot of risk. But then I started searching. Then I found a group. Okay, they were charging 30,000, and that they have support vehicles, medical, and all that thing. I said, okay, yeah, fine. This looks nice. I called them. I said, okay, I'm coming. He said, okay, transfer the money. Okay, I will book your seat. I said, okay, fine. Then I started thinking, you'll go with somebody. They will take care of everything. You will have support system. Then you will say, okay, चल अभी मैं थक गया, cycle डाल दो, अभी थोड़ा. I said, yeah, that's not the real. That's not a real deal. If you have to do it, maybe you do it on your own. You do like self-supported ride. Okay.
Right.
So I said, okay, let's try to figure out. So actually, I had posted in some group that if is anybody traveling on their own, to doing this ride. So so one guy responded to it, Prashant Patil. Okay. So he said, I am planning on this date. So, let's chat. So I said, okay, fine. This sounds interesting. So I called him. So he was also planning on his own. तो मैं बोला अच्छा चलो एक से बोले दो तो I spoke to him. He lives here, okay, in Anushakti Nagar.
Okay.
And honestly, I made a friend for a lifetime, okay, with that guy.
Oh,
okay.
nice.
He called me yesterday. That guy, he's an amazing cyclist. Okay, he works in BARC. He's like he has a family, kid, and all that thing. And after all this, he does all this thing. So he said, okay, I'm planning. Let's plan. So we met first time. Then we said, okay, we introduced each other. So it's ठीक है, मतलब बात करने में ठीक ठाक है, सब जम जाएगा, because you have to see the compatibility also. Because,
True. For long journey.
he said, then I ditched that guy, group वाला, उसको सर मैं अभी नहीं आ सकता, मेरा कुछ तो emergency हो गया, I'm cancelling that thing.
For sure.
He said, okay, ठीक है. So then we started practicing. Apparently that Prashant has done a lot of treks in Himalaya, so he had already people knowing who had done cycling there, Ladakh and all that. So we started preparing. So everything. He being a working in BARC and very kind of management kind of guy. So most of the management part he took care of. So he made the entire list of what are the things he needs to carry. I also helped him. So we made the list of what are the things to carry, plan क्या है कैसे. I being knowing the terrain quite well, he left that traveling plan to me. So कहाँ पे halt करना है, कहाँ पे मिलेगा. So I knew that part. So I helped planning that part. So after that we started practicing. So what we used to do, we used to carry cycles till say like Kasara or Khopoli, and from there we used to make rounds of all those hills. So वहाँ से Lonavala back. So Kasara is pretty easy that way. Kasara.
Okay.
Kasara is easy to climb. So sometimes we used to make 2-3 rounds up and down. And Khopoli and Lonavala, Khandala Ghat is very tough. So we could barely 1.5 days. So first time when we went on the practice route, that time Prashant stayed non-stop till Khandala. Okay, he went non-stop, Prashant. So and I took like 4 or 5 hordes. Okay, so I was like, okay, this guy is going to kill me. Okay, this guy is like go to बोलेगा अभी you don't have that kind of fitness. I thought he will abandon me. But then he said like, okay, you can do it. Just keep practicing all that. So that's how we started. So we practiced pretty well. He helped me in giving some tips because he has a good cycling experience. So that's how we started. Went there, then we both of us. It was a very good experience cycling that way. We have to be very careful because just year before that, one cyclist from Satara, he lost his life somewhere in mid-terrain because you practically don't have any life support there. So that way, it just happened, before we planned our ride. So that way we have to be careful. But luckily everything went well, and the trip happened. But we planned in such a way that even he was planning to run marathon. So we planned it in such a way that I will reach Leh at least 4-5 days before the race. So I enrolled in the race also at the same time. The biggest benefit was like all that through all that patch. First of all, I was getting properly acclimatized, so my body get used to the weather, and again that whole practice of legs and you are fit to run a half marathon there. So I reached there. After reaching there, that was a surprise to me when I took rest for one day, and then I started let me see like how I can run here. Then I was running on the back road where the Shanti Stupa is there. So I ran and like I could barely run 1 kilometer.
Oh, fish.
I was panting. So then Mansi was supposed to join 2-3 days back. She came later. I could barely run. So I told her, like, I don't think I can finish it. And running, pushing yourself in that weather is crazy, because you cannot do that. Okay, because there is no oxygen. You will just collapse and you'll die there. That moment. So I said, okay, then I'll just see how much I can do. Otherwise, I'll quit. I will not take that risk. And when I started running, though, you start Ladakh Marathon, the first 6 kilometers is downhill. Okay. So that time, that was easy. Like, you feel good. Then get that gave me momentum. That gave me some pace, rhythm. So I started running. Then it was a flat patch. Then I said, I was watching at my time. So my best time before that was, I think, I had done sub 2 before that. So in 1 hour, 54 minutes, something like that. So I till 10th of kilometer, I was doing fine. I was running with a good pace.
Okay.
So I said, yeah, I can do sub 2 here also. I was like, अच्छा है, हो जाएगा. So I started. Then after 13th kilometer, I had slight pinch in my somewhere in chest. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I said, no, I have to slow down.
Yeah.
So I just slow down my pace gradually. I just walk for like 500 meter, 1 kilometer. Then I started again. Then I felt, okay, I'm feeling fine now. It was just because of the oxygen. Then slowly. Then after like the last 6 kilometers are totally uphill. You cannot run.
Oh,
So you have to just walk. And then you see all these Ladakhi boys. They are just running past you, saying hi and all that thing. Okay. So those are the guys you can run there. We cannot run there.
Yeah, that's right. Because they are already acclimatized over there. Because my first day in Leh also same thing. I couldn't even walk.
Yeah.
Forget about running. So that way it is. So Raja, so this guy is there. Arjun is there in life. So are you going to, because he's already following you, or are you planning to like put him in something in one of the?
Actually, that thing is little tricky, because you never know what kind of interest these kids will generate. The best thing I follow is not to teach him, just show him. Okay. So I never go and tell him like, you have to do this, you have to do this. Okay. But fortunately so far now he is seeing me doing all these things. Even if I'm doing when push-ups and all that, then he will come and he will, Baba, I'll do with you and this and that.
So following steps.
Yeah. That's what the kid do. You cannot tell him to do this and they will do it. So he's seeing me cycling, with our group, and I go everywhere and do these crazy things. So I got him cycle. So now, that's how the kid do. You cannot tell him to do this and they will do it. So he's seeing me cycling, with our group, and I go everywhere and do these crazy things. So I got him cycle. So now he's mad about cycling. So he cycles in such a way that my society people come and tell me, अरे इसको समझाओ, ये कितना तेज चलाता है, ये कैसे गिर जाएगा. I said, yeah, let him be. गिरेगा तो वापस करेगा, सीख जाएगा. That's fine. So he's following that. The kids follow what they do. And if they're not following, then you cannot tell them to follow me. They are not liking it. They are not into that. So I'm planning him to be good at swimming. So that is something I think he will be good at, because a lot of people who have saw him in water and doing leg movements, there are a lot of people who have told me. One guy in Malvan, one guy in Kopoli. They saw him in water and they say, you have to teach him swimming. He'll be a good swimmer. So
let me be in Mumbai for some time, then I'll teach him swimming, because I'm there. So what's your adventure wish list now?
Actually, the next thing I was planning was La Ultra in Ladakh, that is ultra marathon, which happens in August. This is not a professional race. This is something this is for ultra marathoners. Okay. So this is something I had to prepare for like good 6 months.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's not happening in this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Everything's cancelled. Yeah. So, but any other sports you're planning to go for?
I was planning paragliding. So that is on wish list. Yeah, I mean, again, lot of cycling trips I had planned which didn't happen. This year I was planning Rajasthan, Gobi area. So yeah, and there are a lot of things, they're there, but you have to right time and right.
Yeah, so it's like inspiring the inspired in our group. So we always follow each other. Somewhere or the other, we have to follow each other. So is it like, tell me one thing? Someone has asked me a question. You told us about the altitude problem. So in altitude, you get like what's like kind of solution for that? To getting acclimatized.
It's basically the oxygen level in your body.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much you have, that on that you can survive. So it everyone has a different. Everyone faces that problem in a different way. I've seen some people who have not faced that problem at all, and there are some cases where people have lost their lives. Okay, so it's a quite variable. There there are medicines also. So there's a Dimox. Okay, Dimox tablets which you can take to avoid altitude sickness. But you have to take, definitely, you have to ask your doctor for that. So yeah, I mean, otherwise, people say that you have to drink a lot of water, you have to do this, you have to do that. It doesn't work. Okay, honestly, that all that thing doesn't work. It's totally depend on your own body. So, but yeah, I mean, if at all, you can have Dimox, then Dimox is the medicine for altitude sickness.
Okay, so that's about altitude this thing. And you're talking about barefoot. You have anything for people like who wants to go for barefoot? That's like a ultimate of marathon, I'll say, in my view. So, do you have any tips for barefoot?
See, I will tell you, like, there is no big deal about going barefoot. Yeah, I mean, see, what the only difference is, like, when you're running barefoot, it's a different muscle group which actually, comes in picture. So, like how cycling. Okay, cycling uses different muscle groups. Like, when I'm doing short running. Short running uses different muscle group. In barefoot running, the lot of pressure will be on calf muscles and your tendon. Okay, so that part. So that's what I feel like. The only thing is, like, barefoot running, you go because I want to have an injury-free running. But otherwise, if you're a recreational runner, if you're running on and off, and if you really don't want to go to the extent of running marathons all the time, I think it's better to stick to shoes, short running, because it's convenient, because the roads are not that great here. Tracks are not available for everyone.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, as long as you're comfortable. If you are having any running injuries and issues about running, then definitely you should give it a shot at barefoot running. That will, I think, help a lot.
So many memories and so many things. Are you planning to write any blog? Okay.
I used to write a blog. I have a blog. I've written some stories, mostly in videos and pictures. But yeah, I mean, off late, time
काम का pressure और बाकी सब family pressure.
अभी आजकल कोई पढ़ता नहीं है, सब लोग को वीडियो देखना रहता है, so it's better to do video.
Right. So better to go for that. So these are stories about your journey. See, we are short of a time, but I think so. We can't extend the session, right? Can anyone tell me? Can we extend the session? Because I have to ask him many questions, but still I have not finished anything. So we can't extend, I believe so. So this is all about Raja, marathoner, cyclist, and fitness freak. So if you have any questions, if you have any particular question, ask us, DM us, directly message us. Then we'll let Raja answer those on our website, on our Facebook page, as well as our Insta handle. So that's Raja for you. And that's Raja. Actually, the thing is that for next session, we have another person who has done biking and trails, Himalayan trails and everything. So we'll keep you posted on that. So this is all I think so about. I'll end this session in 2 minutes. So you want to tell us anything about, like, special things about all these memories. So how you are going to in old age, when you become old. So how are you going to recollect all these memories? Can you tell us? because you are going to grow old. I'm 100% sure because your feet are going to grow for long. I 20%.
I didn't get your question. What?
When you become old, so are you going to tell stories about this to your grandson or something, or a beer or a glass of beer? So are you going to tell a story? Tell them a story. There are a lot of things, right?
या मेरे को लगता है यार अभी ये आजकल के बच्चे ऐसे सब स्टोरी सुनने में दे आर इंटरेस्टेड. ओके
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. But I'm telling you, people will be interested because they need an inspiration. They need inspiration something. And okay, one more thing. I just noticed about your beard. Is it like okay, the beard?
Yeah. Like you know, following your footsteps. You know.
So lockdown effect.
Yeah.
Inspired. So this is all about Raja. So anything you want to talk about it? Anything? A message to any adventure seekers? Any message?
I don't know. I mean, like you know, it's just something that you have to keep doing. I mean, I have discovered all these things quite later stage in my life. Okay, I got born and brought up in a chawl. Then you know I had limited exposure. The first trek I remember I did Raigad at the age of like you know I went with my you know pals in back chawl mein. So I think I was like 10, 11 years old. Okay, that's the time when I actually started liking trekking. So that place I loved so much. I was going to Raigad every year. Okay, almost every year on my birthdays. Okay. I had a very one shocking experience. Like you know, once I was there on Raigad, I was watching the whole thing. Raigad का जो दरवाजा है, वहाँ से then I crossed the Takmok.
Right.
So Takmok, you know, place like you know that was place to push people if they have like you know suicide thing or whatever. So you know, I saw that and I saw a small you know route going towards that. So I started from Darwaja. I started walking. I was all alone that time. Okay, I was walking and then you know suddenly I came on the steps. So then I realized nobody has walked that path for quite a long time. Okay, but still I was going, and then I saw when that Takmok Tok, that plateau was like almost 10-15 feet ahead of me, and I suddenly hit a like the what do you call it entire. There were no footsteps. It was entirely scree. Okay, पूरा scree था वहाँ पे. Okay, I had no choice. Then I was stuck at a place. Then I have to go up. You know, I cannot come down. Okay, and that was the moment I actually faced the near to death situation. I for a moment I thought I'm dead. Okay, I'm not going to stay alive because there was no way I could climb that scree. Okay, and somebody there at a long spot, somebody shouted like he screamed, "Door se hey karke." So that person realized, okay, now I'm stuck. That scared the shit out of me. I was like, now I'm dead. I'm not going to, you know, go alive. And then I started, like, you know, I have no choice. I have to go up. So I started, you know, climbing that scree. I don't know how. Like, you know, I just managed to, you know, climb that scree. Like, my hands are like, you know, pura hill raha hai. I don't have a proper grip. I climbed that thing. I reached Takmak Tok. And then I said, like, man, I mean, this is my second life. Okay, so that experience and that actually killed my fear for all these things, you know.
Right.
And then I met you guys and all this madness started. And actually, this group is something that has changed my life. Being very honest, you know, all these people, the things that we do all this together, you know, it's just me, Srijan, Stam. We all are like you know unique in different way and how we do things together. So it actually helped me scale different levels and explore different things. And then I found running. Running is something, you know, because I like it because it's convenient. You don't need to plan it with somebody. You go on your own.
I'm sorry, Rajan. This is the last moment. I think so. We are going to switch off in any moment. So, guys, do watch us, do catch us up. Because, by the way, this live session is Raja's idea. He wanted to get people, as many people as possible on live sessions and to tell them about their stories. So, this is also Raja's idea. I must give a credit to him. So, and let's see. Let's catch up soon after lockdown gets lifted. I don't know when. So, okay. So now we have.